Blue Oval Boys are coming off a streak of hot luck, picking up their first win of the season at the Moon Speedway Road Course with Bill Steinbach. Those Blue Oval Boys go back to an oval track tonight at Moon Speedway. Relatively cool temperatures this evening. Hot, steamy weather all day, up around 80 degrees. Now temperatures have cooled off to about 71, maybe 72 degrees, depending on your dew point positioning. But this track is in complete shade, which will give these drivers complete grip going down these straightaways, hard into these corners for the Carpeted Garage 502. This guy does firearm reviews, various other RC videos. Check him out. He's got a terrific channel. So stay tuned for more great racing action right here, right now. Make sure to check out the Carpeted Garage's channel after tonight's Carpeted Garage 502, of course. Steve Brown on the pole, Chad Lindbruner in second spot, and then there's Bill Steinbach in third place, coming off a recent win. Get ready for some rough and ready racing. Three, two, one, go.
Green flag is back out. Steve Brown jumps out to the early lead in the Carpeted Garage 502. Chad Lindbruner comes up on the bottom of the racetrack, leads lap number 2. Brown spins out coming up off turn number 2 on the back straight, loses second spot, now falls back to third spot. Lap 5 already. Chad Lindbruner has quite a marginal lead over the rest of this field as Steinbach cuts through the center line, surrendering second spot to Steve Brown, who's nearly a lap down to Chad Lindbruner. Chad's running a very conservative line. Look at that acceleration of his Chevrolet. Steve Brown seems to be extremely loose and has to really tweak his car into the corner, easily driving it. Bill Steinbach up in the air in turn number 2.
We've seen Brown spin out quite a bit, especially out of turn 2. His car is very loose there, as we're going to have a caution on lap number 13. Lindbruner getting up on the wall. Track maintenance team runs out quickly. Here's an instant replay of what happened. You can see Steinbach having a lot of trouble. Lindbruner having his own trouble, tries to get his car moving. That would have not been a caution had he not run into the wreck that was up in turn number 1. And now watch Brown as he goes around turn 1. He has a lot of grip, but coming out of turn 2, he just slides to the inside of the track, and that does not help him at all. A great shot there on lap 15 coming out of turn number 2. Another caution will be waved here, yellow flag.
You know, we're talking about how loose Steve Brown is, but if you look at his car in comparison to the vehicles of Bill Steinbach and Chad Lindbruner, look at the front nose on that car. His car doesn't really look like it's down in the racetrack, like he doesn't have those front tires hooked up the way he wants them to. All 4 tires are not to his liking.
Today it seems to be leaning a bit to the right, that Chrysler does. We'll see if that affects how he races later on. Air getting out one of the sides of the car, pushing it, making it loose, a cushion of air underneath one of the sides of that car. Here's a green flag and a very sloppy restart for Steinbach, but he does retain second place after Brown has a wreck in turn number 4. A lot of trouble out of turn 1, and Brown's going to lap these cars. Does so, then hits the wall after running into Lindbruner's Chevrolet.
Bill Steinbach went outside the speedway in the back straight. Bill Steinbach comes back onto the racetrack. Track maintenance team has to dodge another vehicle right there. You see Bill Steinbach cut across the speedway right in the line of Chad Lindbruner. Look at the rear tires of his vehicle just simply chattering up and down. He probably tried to get back in the gas to save it, and the car simply lurched forward onto the cone.
You know, Steinbach likes to stay in the gas after a lot of these wrecks. Seems to be causing him a lot of troubles this season. Brown has an issue, though, and Lindbruner now has the lead. Steinbach is in a very distant second place, but not as bad as Brown, who is trying to catch up desperately, and does so. Ooh, and a pass on the inside of the track. And now look at Steinbach almost falling back down a lap.
Lap 25, 15 more circuits of racing to go. Things in this field have seemed to have calmed down a little bit here. We get into the later portion of this race as Chad Lindbruner, Bill Steinbach crashes out of turn number 2 trying to pass back Lindbruner after he passed him. Lap 30, only 10 more laps to go here, but this, as I was saying, this field seems to be pretty spread out right here. Bill Steinbach has trouble up in turn number 4. Steve almost gets the back of him.
Oh, Steve Brown running Steinbach into the outside wall. Don't worry, Lindbruner has trouble, though, for these 2 other drivers to catch back up. They won't do very well, though, and Lindbruner has a massive lead over the rest of the field on lap 35. Brown having a lot of trouble. Ooh, yeah, flipping down the backstretch as Steinbach is stuck in the tires.
Steve Brown, no caution, though, as he landed on all 4 wheels. Bill Steinbach and Chad Limburner tangle in turn number 2. Steve Brown flips over in turn number 4. Here's an instant replay of this one. Pretty incredible wreck out of turn number 2 as Steve Brown flips in turn 3. Chad got into the back of Bill Steinbach, and then Bill once again stayed hard in the throttle. Here's another angle. Look at this here. It looks like Bill does a complete pirouette and rockets down the front stretch.
Now, those were several laps of good racing there for a while, and then it just ended all at once, all the drivers.
Steve Brown has stepped out to a late lead here. Chad Limburner trying to muscle that Chevy for all it's worth to get by. Coming up off turn number 4, Steve Brown picks up the win. Limburner wrecks in turn number 4. Bill Steinbach kicks us forward in the line of Chad Limburner. Chad does pick up second spot. Look at the excitement, the happiness, and the joy in his face after picking up second spot. Bill Steinbach absolutely bewildered by this finish. You can see Steve Brown's reaction also. Truly an incredible sudden turn of events here in the late goings of this race as Bill Steinbach nearly picked up second place over Chad Limburner. Here it is again.
I must say, Limburner did deserve second spot for how hard his car fought today, and we can see this final lap again. Brown coming around to easily win. He had a little bit of trouble, and then Limburner just staying in the gas, hitting the outside of the speedway. Look at Steinbach flipping.
It looks like Bill, he looks like he hesitated there just a little, not knowing exactly what to do. And look at them actually throwing shoulders at each other to try to pick up second place. Bill Steinbach, probably 5 or 6 seconds after Chad Limburner crossed the line, does in fact pick up third place. What an exciting Carpeted Garage for the third consecutive year he's been on board with us. Truly an amazing sponsor, and truly an incredible night of racing here from Moon Speedway. We have 2 more races to go in this stretch here at Moon Speedway, so stay tuned.
Make sure you take a look at the Carpeted Garage's channel for some great RC racing videos at the SNN Trackside RC Track. We'll see you next time on the Three Rivers RC Racing channel.